It's time for bookkeeping, beer, and BS. How is the business going for you now? I know we were just talking about earlier today. You got some employee things going on, and that's like a new realm for you.
Yeah, kind of. I'm like dipping my toes in the employee world. My goals are much bigger than where I'm at right now, but we did conquer, signed up at the huge convention. Oh, we did the AIM. I shouldn't say conquer because we didn't do the full conquer group. We did AIM, and then they really did push us to do some stuff that I wasn't comfortable with, that I'm glad I did. And then also taught us to look at things differently. And I actually went and had breakfast with Caleb Winninger.
Nice.
I just sent him a message and asked him if he'd have breakfast with me.
Yeah.
And just an hour with that guy made me do something that I was very uncomfortable with. I have a part-time guy right now. And then I have a guy that works with me at the firehouse who, there's a girl at my firehouse who has a gutter cleaning company. That's all she does is gutters, but it's like pretty part-time.
Yeah.
She has, then this other guy that we work with, he works with her. Well, the other day she wasn't working and he asked if I needed help that day. So I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Well, now he's worked with me twice, and then he's texted me a few times asking me if I had work that day. So I think he's interested in doing part-time work as well. Mm-hmm. But the other guy is a fireman at a local tank plant, like an army tank plant.
Damn.
And he's retiring. He's an older guy. So he's retiring this year, and he was a customer of mine, and he like hit me up on Instagram and would follow my stuff and make jokes about coming to work for me when he retires. And I was like, are you actually interested in it? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, come work for me then. So he's been pretty good so far. I'm kind of like trying to learn the whole performance pay thing. That's what I texted you about today was the percentage that you're using, which you made sense of it. I don't know why I was thinking what I was thinking.
You were doing it right. Like you had the right number, but it is a funny concept mathematically.
Yeah.
Get go.
Yeah. So how I'm doing is I have like a base pay that they won't make less than, and then the percentage from there of the jobs that we're doing, which like his first day he made like $31 an hour.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I mean, and it was great. We got the jobs done quick, and having employees is definitely something that like I don't know nothing about. Today I was actually looking at, since they're part-time, should I just 1099 these guys? That was an interesting thing that I was actually thought I'd ask you about. 1099 versus W-2s.
Yeah, I think it's tricky. It's tricky to do 1099s in a service business. I'm not a franchise or is it franchise law? No, it's not franchise law. Well, just subcontractor law in general.
Yeah.
I'm not a contractor law specialist by any means, but there's rules about like they can't be in uniform, right? They can't be in a logo truck. You can't tell them when to be there and how to do their job. And it's like, then you're kind of out. Like you kind of need them to do it your way because you promised the customer certain things.
Yeah.
If you're just a booking agent, then subcontractors work. But if you have a brand and you're represented and you want to show up wearing a company shirt and say this is how we do things and then do it that way, it's pretty hard to use subcontractors.
Yeah, you really can't.
And I don't think you gain anything by doing it. Like you're probably going to want to be taxed as an S corp and put yourself on payroll. And if you're on payroll, then you already have a payroll service, and it's $6 a month more to add them to payroll. So it's not much at all to like have another person on payroll.
Yeah.
And it serves them well if you handle the taxes rather than they handle the taxes. Because if they're a subcontractor, you've got to pay them more because then they have to pay all the payroll taxes,
right?
The income taxes, where like the total money spent doesn't change. Who pays the taxes changes, and that's it. So if you have them as an employee, you just pay them less to supplement the tax side of it, and everything else comes out in the wash. But now you have the liberty to like tell them when to be somewhere,
what to wear, how to do it.
Yeah, and I think in our businesses that's usually necessary, not all the time. But
I started to watch a YouTube video about it, and my kids started distracting me, but
sure,
he was talking about if you're 1099ing, if you're just paying guys and then sending them 1099 at the end of the year, you could actually get in trouble and end up paying fines if you aren't following those laws.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I don't think you want the Department of Labor on your
side. So yeah, that's when I wanted to look into what those laws were, but you pretty much just shut it all down for me. So I guess
I just don't think there's not, to me, there's just not enough to gain.
Right. No, that doesn't sound like it.
And like part of the skill set of building a team is building a culture, right?
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
being a leader, and that's not for everybody,
right?
But if you're trying to scale a business, usually that's a skill set you want. And if you're doing so I did talk to a guy yesterday that does like commercial janitorial stuff, and he goes pure subcontractors. He doesn't have another employee in his business. And he's scaling it well, but he does get maxed out in like different geographies, and then he goes to another geography, and so he can like replicate it that way. But it's really just him, and he's got a sales process to sell commercial janitorial stuff.
Yeah.
And then he finds the subcontractors, and he's playing Match.com, right?
Yeah.
But it's just a totally different business than, hey, Mrs. Jones, we're going to come and clean your stuff. Not to say there's not money to do that business model, but that's a totally different business to just say like, yep, your stuff will be cleaned and I'll make sure the subcontractor comes and cleans it. But it's all their equipment. It's all their process.
Yeah.
I'll just say that it's going to be clean. And if you have a complaint, let me know so I can relay it to the person that's cleaning your stuff. Right.
Yeah. Right.
You're the manager. You're the home manager, in this case, the commercial manager, but you can't actually do anything to solve the problem besides, hey, let me find you a new subcontractor.
Right.
To do the thing, right? You're playing like GC. Hey, what's up, business nerd? Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned a heck of a lot watching that episode. Do me a favor, subscribe right down here. And if you really like what you saw, you got more goods right here. Check out this one or check out this one and do this. Go subscribe. Appreciate you. Work smarter, work harder, go earn yourself some pride. Catch you on the next one.